Just do it!
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the first episode of Fanalyst. I'm Fanalyst with Raw Authentic from sunny South Florida. We're going to bring you all sports and everything sports. So let's just get straight to it.
Let's get it.
Yo, so let's talk about this national championship game, everybody.
Yeah, man. So I know you saw the game. That shit was actually pretty crazy, man. Like, they literally benched Jalen Hurts after halftime. Did you expect that to happen?
I mean, going in, everybody did expect that, but I didn't expect the freshman to be that good.
I know they were saying that he's evidently the next Marcus Mariota. They came from the same high school or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's the next. He's kind of short. 6'1", but with a rocket arm.
He low-key looks like Russell Wilson, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he did. I thought that was his cousin.
Like, for real. Like, he has the same nose and everything. I was like, holy crap, where's Sierra?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nah, but with Jalen Hurts, I mean, it was expected. Though someone who is different for Nick Saban. You know, he's never had a scrambling quarterback. Went to Alabama first year, took him to the national title, lost. Took him again, struggled because, you know, that's the thing on running quarterbacks. They think we like throwing precision. So they went to the freshman. Now, did anybody expect the freshman to make that big of a adjustment and change of the game? Nobody did. But the big question of the day is, what should Jalen Hurts do next?
Yo, so that's what I'm saying. He went 25-2 in 2 seasons in Alabama. Took him to 2 straight national championships. Pretty much is taking what is considered a dynasty to potentially their third. But because of his performance in the late games, he might need to do this transfer because the freshman right now is a hot topic. A lot of people like the way that he was poised in the pressure, down 13 and a half. I think that it's time for Jalen Hurts to pack up his shit and leave.
And play the Nick Saban system, which is run the ball, then pass the ball, which Jalen Hurts really just can't do.
Exactly. Jalen Hurts can't even throw a ball past 15 yards.
And let's think about the last few scrambling quarterbacks to win titles and actually pass the ball well. Deshaun Watson could have been NFL Rookie of the Year, but injuries happen. Cam Newton. And the one who started it all, well, not really started it all, Vince Young with the unbelievable Texas versus USC Rose Bowl.
One of the greatest championship games I've ever seen in my life.
Hands down, greatest.
But in your opinion, when it comes to Jalen Hurts, let's get back to him. Do you feel like he needs to transfer somewhere within the SEC, or does he need to go somewhere outside of the SEC to try to establish himself as a quarterback?
Honestly, I feel like he should just go wherever he feels is necessary. Anybody in the nation could use a Jalen Hurts, no matter what it is. Because at the end of the day, he's a winner. And last time I checked, as long as you win, how you win doesn't matter. But if I'm him, I'm 50-50 with this. Either I'm going to go back and reclaim my spot, or I take my L. Or you could do this. You could Braxton Miller, be a receiver, and still be considered a great Alabama great.
Well, let me just tell you something. When it comes to quarterbacks in the Alabama system, you could be me, haven't thrown the ball past 40 yards, and still be considered a 25-2 quarterback with the defense that Nick Saban picks up and establishes every year.
Since LSU.
Alabama, regardless, you're going to have a great record if you're the quarterback. You're just going to be blessed in a great situation. Jalen Hurts right now is in an unfortunate situation because they realize they have better talent at the quarterback position that's younger than him, that they can still develop, and they have another year to develop and take to championships for.
And also looks better than any quarterback Nick Saban has ever coached since LSU.
Which is very true. So what I do believe that they need to start doing is, one, Jalen Hurts needs to start looking into Auburn. Because Auburn, everybody knows when they have a great mobile dual threat quarterback, they tend to upset Bama. So if he really wants to run the table, I would suggest him going to the rival school at Auburn and try to run house.
Or, if I'm Jalen Hurts, just go back home. There's enough Texas schools waiting for a quarterback like him. Texas Tech, Texas, Jimbo Fisher's at Texas A&M. And you know what he does with quarterbacks. Look at his quarterbacks over the last 4 or 5 years.
That's very true. Jimbo Fisher is now back in the SEC, and he is considering trying to run house with Texas A&M. But with Jalen Hurts going to Texas A&M, I don't believe that would be the most ideal move for him.
Why not face Alabama every year and dethrone the team that benched you?
Or you could go be on the Iron Bowl team of Auburn, who upsets them
every year. But upset them this year with a passing quarterback. So it doesn't technically mean they need a running quarterback to beat Alabama.
Which is very true. I do agree on that. Not saying that they need it. However, let's look at the past times that they had mobile quarterbacks and they actually ran house. What was the number 2 quarterback, Nick Young or something like that, I believe his name was? The corner that turned quarterback. What was his name again?
Nick Wright.
Nick Wright. They also had Carolina great Cam Newton. So if they have somebody with a previous record of 25-2 of Jalen Hurts, you don't believe that they could actually try to run house with the running game system that they currently have?
Yeah, but I feel like with the Alabama, the second win was more of their running backs. Because remember, they had Trey Mason. They had a 3 running back system. And Nick Wright, no, actually, it was Nick Marshall. Apologize.
Marshall, correct.
Former UGA player.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The corner from UGA, yes.
Yes, but
apologies, Marshall. Sorry.
But that when you look back on that game, they really won on a missed field goal in a return. So it wasn't about Nick Marshall actually had his worst game other than the national championship of that year against Florida State. So really, it's just defense and running that they really need. And with the running of Jalen Hurts, yeah, you're right. But quarterback doesn't play a part for Auburn to me.
Well, that's something we just got to see into the future. We just got to see what the maniac Nick Saban's going to do this offseason. But let's just talk about
get another great class.
True. So
think about it. Think about all the players that made great plays in that national championship. They were all freshmen. 6'4" running back Najee Harris, Devin Smith, D. Smith, and Tuola. 3 freshmen made the biggest plays of that national championship game.
Absolutely. But let's get into the playoffs that just happened. I know you just watched a lot of playoff football this weekend.
Yeah, so a lot of low scoring games and a lot of high scoring and
a lot of disappointment.
Oh,
a lot of disappointment.
I see it on your face. Are you okay?
It's been a rough week. It's been pretty rough.
Rough last 3 years?
Wow. You really had to go there. How long has it been since you guys been relevant?
2 years ago?
Your team's been relevant 2 years ago? I don't recall.
How long has you guys been relevant?
We were in the Super Bowl recently, actually.
Recently?
But anyway.
Oh.
So the playoffs happened. What was some shocking outcomes that you've seen over the past weekend?
I wasn't shocked, but just Kansas City just can't seem to win a playoff game.
Yeah, that was actually pretty shocking to me. I didn't expect them to give up, what was it, 18-point lead?
18-point lead, 23-3. Mariota passed the ball to himself.
For a touchdown. I think that was the first time that happened in 40 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the thing about Darrelle Revis, to come off the couch, go to a playoff team, and then first few games back, you're out of the playoffs in the first round. I got out of retirement for this.
Life comes at you fast when it comes to something.
And he was the one who patted down the ball.
He did pat down the ball, thinking he made a great defensive play.
But how do you feel about Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray? Do you feel like DeMarco Murray is done in Tennessee?
Well, when it comes to DeMarco Murray in Tennessee, I believe what they should do with Derrick Henry, he's going to become an elite running back.
He already is.
And what they need to do is try to get trade bait for Murray.
Yeah, of course. That was definitely what I would do. Corey Davis is looking like a stud. Everybody kind of question that, but he did his thing against Marcus Peters, who continuously is showing how great of a corner he is, but of course he has his faults.
Yes, he's a
very immature.
He's a huge risk taker. Huge risk taker.
But look at all the risk takers who have had stellar careers. Dion, Asante.
Yeah, but do you feel like he's going to reach a Dion or Asante level?
Hasn't he already? I mean, look at the biggest plays he's made in his first 2-3 years. Led the league in picks, his first 2 seasons in the league? Has 3 to 4 pick returns for touchdowns? I mean, wouldn't you say that's early Deion Sanders like? He's immature like Deion.
Yeah, but in the same way, you got to look at it. He do give up a lot of touchdowns at the same time. In the expense of getting all these interceptions, they throw it at him a lot.
Yeah.
They throw it at him a lot. That's why he's getting a lot of interceptions and also giving up a lot of touchdowns.
At the end of the day, their defense is still one of the top 5 defenses with him giving up all these touchdowns. So he may throw to my side a lot, but a higher percentage of I'm going to either pick it off and take it to the crib.
So, do you feel like the Jaguars escaped against the Bills?
Oh yeah, definitely. You gotta think about the Bills. They're the team that really shouldn't have made the playoffs, but snuck in. Like the Ravens just really blew it, and I didn't even expect the Ravens to be this good this year with the hurt Joe Flacco all year.
Yeah, they did better than what many expected.
3-4 different running backs. Inconsistency from the receiving core, but the defense did what it's supposed to do, which has always been the Ravens' MO. Defense, defense, defense.
Very, very true.
But how do you feel about Blake Bortles as an overall? Do you feel like he's shown people that he surpassed the hump of being taken seriously? Like he ran more yards than he threw, but still he won a game.
Let's be real here. You really can't take Blake Bortles serious as a quarterback because, for one, he had the easiest schedule in the NFL. So his record was going against easier opponents. So I believe he went 10-6 this year with such an easy schedule. Really wasn't that impressive to me.
Man, I wouldn't.
Especially with such an elite
young
defense he has. I believe any team with a quarterback as good, if not better than Blake Bortles, would have a better record than 10-6.
So Eli to Jacksonville, as you're telling me?
If that's the case with Coughlin, he would have had a way better record than 10-6.
Yeah, because he would have finally got a running game.
Exactly, an elite running game at that.
Now let's get down to the nitty and the gritty. More NFC talk. As a Carolina Panther fan, how was it to see your team lose to the Saints for the 3rd straight game in a row?
Well, to be honest, it was a huge letdown. We had opportunities where we could have won in the playoff matchup against the Saints. We dropped the opening drive touchdown. Following that, we missed a chip shot of a field goal, pretty much a extra point shot. We missed it. A legend, missed it. Towards the end, we had mental breakdowns where instead of batting down the ball on 4th down to get good field position, we picked it off and it was a 16-yard difference. There was some small miscues that cost us the game, and there was also some small penalties that also made the momentum for the Saints take over. But we did exactly what we needed to do. We had to lock down Kamara and Ingram. We did that. But the one thing that we failed to do, like we typically have failed to do since the release of Norman, is lock down the passing game. We had Mike Thomas and former Panther Ted Ginn go over 100 yards against us.
How does that feel? A player that it seems like you guys just let players go, and they just always seem to do better when they leave you guys.
Well, for some reason, I don't know what it is. It's our running system, but like I said, this is a learning experience for us. We don't have that many playmakers, something that I was expecting. I did not expect us to go 11-5. I was expecting a great 10-6 record, But we made the playoffs. We should have took advantage by beating the Falcons, so we could have had the number 3 seed. And instead of going against our kryptonite, we would have went against the Falcons in the playoffs.
But you guys just lost to them the week before.
I understand what you're talking about, but that was during a time where they needed it more, and they were home. But
So you guys would have been home against the Falcons.
We would have if we would have been.
And you think you guys would have beaten the Falcons
by a landslide? Correct.
by a landslide?
Yes.
Would you just say? But didn't you just say you guys have a problem of giving up big yards? And correct. So which corner would have shut down Julio?
That's Julio. You're going one. That's one quarter. That's one receiver. Where we're going against a squad of receivers. We're going against.
Technically, if we really break down Drew Brees' receiving core, how many of them are you really putting in the top 10?
We're not talking about top 10 in the receiving core. We're talking about an overall receiving unit. He has different weapons.
They're all pretty much the same to me.
Well,
they're all 6'2", 6'3".
That's very true, but he also has 2 running backs that could pass from the backfield, that could catch the ball from the backfield.
But he's always had that. He had Kamara's is Darren Sproles 2.0.
Okay, but what you're failing to realize is the fact that when it comes to the Falcons are basically doing a whole new offensive scheme, whereas the Saints have been running the same offensive scheme for years. So,
but they just beat an elite. But the Falcons just beat an elite defense. You can't say that the Rams were an elite defense this year.
I wouldn't consider the Rams to be elite.
Their defense, not the team.
Their defense isn't elite.
Why wouldn't they?
Why I wouldn't consider their defense.
The only high scoring game they had was really against the best team in the league, which was the Eagles.
I still wouldn't consider them an elite defense due to the fact that they're young. They had just one great year. They have one great year. And they showed a lot of inconsistency. Their offense really carried them more than their defense. When it came to nitty-gritty games against the Seahawks, their defense didn't come through for them at certain times. There was also times where their defense was exposed in the nickel corner and in the back end of their passing game.
I understand. So, all right, for these upcoming games, who you picking? Minnesota versus Falcons? Minnesota versus the Saints. And then the Falcons.
Well, when it comes to
the Eagles,
the NFC is going to be ran through by the NFC South. No matter what anybody says, you're not going to tell me that you're going to pick an inexperienced Case Keenum over Drew Brees, regardless of the situation. You have Drew Brees, who is debatably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, going with an elite running game that he hasn't had since his Super Bowl contending year. You're going to see him expose the Minnesota Vikings just like any other team did. There's been multiple games where the Vikings were on the brink of losing. They lost to a team that didn't have playmakers, the Carolina Panthers. And if you're telling me that...
what did y'all beat them?
We beat them earlier in the season. Check it out. But yeah, so if we're able to beat them with lack of playmakers, I strongly believe that Drew Brees' caliber team of this year will be able to expose Xavier Rhodes and their linebacker core with Kamara and Ingram running through.
That's interesting. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Case Keenum has definitely shown, some poise. Remember Case Keenum from Houston Cougar days when he was a 7th-year medical redshirt. So for him to even make it this far is pretty amazing. But I don't know. That defense is something serious. And you say exposed. I mean, Xavier Rhodes has had a pretty good season. Anthony Barr is probably top 5 linebackers in the league right now. And Harrison Smith is probably one of the top 3, top 5 safeties. Or actually number 1 at his position. So, I mean, I understand you guys are both facing teams that have inexperienced quarterbacks. So that's the benefits of the NFC South right now.
Okay, well, I guess where you're coming from. Well, like I said, I believe the NFC is going to be run through the NFC South. Anthony Barr did get exposed by Christian McCaffrey. When you look back at the game against Panthers, he did get exposed by a rookie. they do give up a lot of receiving yards to the running game by running backs and receiving backs. So it is something that you need to look into.
All right, now big question. Now we go to the AFC. Now, of course, everybody thinks about the Patriots, but with all the controversy going on, do you think the Titans can use that to their advantage? I think they should just continue what they did last game, pound the football. Because, like I said, this is not the Patriots of old. This Patriots defense makes a lot of mistakes. It's just to keep the ball out of Brady's hands. That is the main focus and always should be the focus. The longer you keep it out of Brady's hands, the more likely you will win. That means no ball for Gronk, no ball for Cooks. So, Derrick Henry, who's shown that he can carry the load, and Mariota, Bill Belichick has shown he does struggle, just like Nick Saban, struggle against scrambling quarterbacks. So how do you think that little Titans and Patriots matchup will play out?
If we're talking about Tom the GOAT Brady against the Tennessee Titans, realistically, the NFL gods are not going to let Tom the GOAT Brady lose to the Titans. It doesn't matter. I've been saying this for the past years. They're not going to let Tom Brady lose to certain quarterbacks. They already tainted him with Eli Manning. The gods are not going to let him lose. That's why they let Russell Wilson throw the ball at the 1 yard line instead of running it with beast mode. And that's why the Falcons couldn't hold a lead. So, when it comes to the Titans,
Whoa.
I understand that the Titans are a great team and everything like that. However, they're going to get dismantled by one player, Brandon Cooks and Tom fucking Brady.
What about Gronk?
Gronk's going to be there. He's going to be there, but they're really going to try to focus on Gronk, but they're going to just pass it out to Brandon Cooks, the little speedster.
I understand what you're saying. I don't know, man. I just feel like a lot of controversy might work in the Tennessee Titans' favors, but my biggest matchup to me really is the Jaguars versus Steelers. Because my thing is, as great as the Steelers team is, I don't know. Le'Veon Bell seems he's a regular season player. He seems to something always seems to happen when he gets to the playoffs, and it just ruins the Steelers' hopes.
For some reason, he always gets weak bones in the playoffs. He either sprains an ankle.
So now with this defense that he's going up against, do you see another Le'Veon Bell cop-out?
Well, the main thing right now is the Antonio Brown cop-out because he's recovering from, I believe it was a hamstring injury. So,
But they said he's playing.
Exactly, but if he comes playing and then all of a sudden if they lose, they try to claim that he was playing injured. That's
But don't they have a Hall of Fame quarterback? So what does that mean? You still got Juju Smith, Martavius Bryant, Jesse James. You got weapons. You got an O-line.
You do have weapons. Everybody says next man up. That's what the coaches are supposed to say.
Martavius Bryant's 6'4" with 4.3 speed. We haven't seen anybody like that since. I'm not comparing him to him, but Randy Moss with that height and speed.
That's a
He
reach.
He doesn't have Randy Moss ability.
That's a reach. We have seen a few tall players that had some speed, but we're not gonna go looking at all combines. But what I'm saying is, if you have a player like Antonio Brown, who's debatably an NFL MVP caliber player, no other receiver is a MVP caliber player as of yet, and he's playing hurt, that is going to hit a huge impact on your offensive scheme. And if you have a Le'Veon Bell who is going to go in and possibly get hurt as well, if you lose a top tier 1 running back and a tier 1 receiver, that's going to change the element of the offensive game. No matter what type of quarterback you have, and you have Big Ben, who is a little bit panicky in the pocket. He isn't in the pocket, no pressure type of quarterback. You do see him running around, scrambling, making miracle plays, getting banged up. So when you lose players like that, that's not going to be a good look for Big Ben.
Yeah, I agree, but as like I said, yeah, they might lose out on Antonio, but the main player I think is still Le'Veon. Le'Veon is still the guy because when he went out, it was over for them for the Patriots. And with Big Ben, he's still the quarterback. He's still the leader. He has to make plays. So Antonio Brown, if they use that as an excuse, we could go back dozens of years of excuses. But there is none. You either win or you lose. But now we get to the real nitty gritty. Name your picks for each game and for the Super Bowl. Name them right now.
Steelers, Patriots, Falcons, Saints. My Super Bowl prediction is going to be Patriots for a dynasty three-peat versus the Saints. And my overall pick for the final game is going to be Saints 24, Patriots 31.
So now some pretty bold predictions, nice picks. My picks, I actually have the upset of the Titans beating the Patriots. That's just my bold prediction. Then I have the Steelers, of course, beating the Jaguars. And in the upset, no upset. The Saints and the Falcons definitely are winning. Then I have the Saints beating the Falcons in a high-scoring game. I'm thinking like 35-38. That's just realistic. And then, all said and done, of course, I feel like the Steelers are going to take it from the Titans. Steelers versus Saints, Super Bowl. And honestly, from then, it's a toss-up for me. It can go 24-27, because that's what I'm looking at. Or 27-30. 31, something around that, 28-31, and for me, it could go either or. It could be the Steelers or the Saints, because that's how good and balanced each team is. Because it's probably the best defense the Saints has ever had in a Drew Brees era. That defense they had with Jonathan Vilma and Tracy Porter, they were good, but the young talent of Vaccaro and Lattimore showing a lot of people that is a lot to think about. So you definitely got to keep going. But thanks for tuning into the first episode of Fanalyst. I'm Fanalyst.
And this is Authentic.
See you guys next time. Peace.